Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cache, and you are watching Shay with the Hobbies. It is day one of Kwanzaa and Kwanzaa-thon 2023. Umoja, which means which means unity. I was getting ready to say Habara Ghani, and like my brain just moved faster than my mouth, apparently. Good morning, y'all. We're running a little bit behind. Is it like holiday jet lag? Probably. It's a lot of things. I was moving slow. I was slow sending links. It was a lot. It was a lot going on this morning. But a good morning. How is everybody? I hope everyone had a blessed holiday if you celebrate. And if you didn't, I just hope you had a blessed Monday because, Mondays can be a bear, is what I've heard. So there's that. I'll let my lovely co host introduce herself. There's a hand
Hi,
there.
I see. Hi, I'm Britt. My channel is Britt Writerly. It's a book and author tube where I talk about the intersections of literature and culture, where I talk about my writing journey. So, if any of that interests you, head on over. I have been sporadic for the past year with my posting, but I'm getting back to um, what do they call it? A schedule. I'm getting back to a schedule. Bless you. Still figuring out what that schedule is, but the point is there will be more videos on there, even if for a little bit they're not necessarily all coming up on the same day. I'm just figuring out what's sustainable, but you will be getting weekly videos going forward, especially this week. Well, actually, mostly on my Instagram, so forget that. But if that sounds interesting to you and you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe. If you have not yet, if you already have subscribed, go back and make sure you have rung that notification bell because now there will be things to be notified about besides lives and you don't want to miss it.
All right, now because I just created these this morning, the description box has not been updated with all the Kwanzaa information, but it will be. This year's theme is a real conversation about Black community, real as in REEL. We are working on 7 days of reels to increase Instagram engagement is the word. Increase Instagram engagement this year. Usually we're kind of like, yeah, we don't care which platform, whichever platform suits you. And because of that, it's kind of led to sporadic Kwanzaa hashtags everywhere, which we love, but also it's made it hard to be able. Sorry, y'all. I'm out of town for the holidays, so it's like other people's houses and whatnot and everything. So, anyways, so that's led to like sporadic being able to find and pull content for us to be able to be like, hey, this is our favorite Kwanzaa content throughout the year. So to make it easier for us for future years and whatnot, this year we're focusing on Instagram. Now, that does not mean you cannot repurpose this because Instagram can be used on TikTok, or Reels can be used on TikTok and on Shorts and everything like that. Do with your content as you will, people. Do not feel limited by anything. But please use the hashtag Kwanzaa-thon, hashtag Kwanzaa-thon 2023, hashtag the day, Umoja, as in today, day one, unity. We would appreciate it so much. Now, I have the book somewhere around here. I know that I packed it and brought it with me, but I'm going to remove us so that you can see it because it is right here on the screen behind us. But we will be reading. I'm going to tell y'all it's an amazing book and you need to read it, so get into it, okay? It is blackety black, 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 black.
Wait, I disappeared for a second and maybe you did too. So maybe repeat what you just said.
Yeah, but you can still hear me, right? Or you couldn't hear me when I
No.
disappeared.
Mm-mm.
I just thought only my video disappeared, not my audio. Interesting. Okay, well, all I was saying was that. Oh, I know what I did. Never mind. This is what I was supposed to be doing. My bad. Let's fix this. There it is. Long Division by Kiese Laymon. That was on me. That was on me. We'll act like I knew what I was doing. Long Division by Kiese Laymon. It's an amazing book, is what I said. And it's blackety black, black, black. And you should read it, is what I said. And by you should read it, it's if you are here and you're participating in the group read for Kwanzaa. It is exactly what we are going to be reading. So I'm going to be listening to the audiobook on Everand, aka Scribd, while I search for the physical book that I know that I prepared and brought with me because I already started reading it. Did I? Yes, I started reading it on Christmas Day because I was already excited to get back into it. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to open up this audiobook because I cannot wait to hear Sean Crisden say some of these words because the way that his accent hits for some of these, it's hilarious. So we're going to get started with a 30-minute sprint. And depending on how y'all reactions are in the first 30 minutes, we might go to a 45. Everybody's like, no, let's eat it up. Let's eat it up. Let's eat it up. Because we got 7 days to get Britt to read this book so she can join the conversation we've been having for the last 2 years, y'all. Last 2 years. All right. So what time is it? It's 9:50. So we'll start at the 31. Let's get a banner going. So I'll take us to the 11. All right, and then oh y'all, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Trying to type with these nails is woof. And I swear I didn't think I got them super long, but apparently they still too long for me. Okay, all right. So excited to start about how it is. It's so good. It's so good. All right, y'all. In 3, 2, 1. Y'all turning pages or press play. How did everybody do? My bad. There's a washing machine is on rent cycle. And I was like, that water is loud. There's no way they're not gonna hear that. Let me wait. Okay, so my apologies. Okay, question number one. What does unity mean to you? For me, I feel like unity means coming together for the benefit of the whole. It does not mean not taking into consideration the needs of the individuals, but it does mean putting aside the egos of the individuals for the needs of the group and for everyone in that group. Um, I do think that unity looks like forgiveness in a lot of ways. Like, I feel like unity requires forgiveness. I feel like unity requires communication. I feel like unity requires patience. Um, I think that it is not. Uh, I think it is not just a noun. I think that unity is a verb. I think that it is an action. I think that it is something that has to be worked out consistently. It has to be a lifestyle and a way of life, especially among Black people. So when I think of unity, that's kind of what I think of. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, I really like the stipulations that you put because there is a tension between showing up for participating in guarding and contributing to community and showing up for being an active participant in guarding yourself. Um, and I think sometimes, a lot of times, especially for older generations, when they're talking to younger generations, they act like there is no tension and that the individual should be obliterated for the purpose of the community. And that's just not sustainable. Um, so yeah, I think unity, I would just scaffold on your definition because I really like it. And I would just add that there, oh, my thought flew from my mind.
Come back, come back.
Come back. Scaffolding on Shay's definition of unity. It's gone, honestly, but your definition was solid. Um, if it comes back to me, I'll like it came back. But all things considered, uh, all things considered, I do really like your definition and think that it does a good job of outlining rather than erasing the tension between the community and the individual. And I think this isn't what I was going to say, but I would say implicit in that is mutual respect. Um, that if we're guarding each other, I don't have to worry that you don't see me as an individual. I recognize that in the way that you treat me, and then um, I can have more faith in what I pour into community because I know that community is respectful of me as an individual. So that's what I would add, but I don't remember exactly what I was going to say, but I'll add mutual respect to unity. I don't think you can have unity if you don't have respect for each individual.
I agree. I concur. I concur. I concur. Okay, we had Sherry Juanita join us. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. Cute avatar. Pat, blessed Kwanzaa, Queen Shay, and all much love. So much for joining us. Sherry said, read 4 chapters of An Arc of Blood at the Root by Ladarian Williams. Yes! I cannot wait to hear what people think about it. I'm hoping that it is everything we are wanting it to be. Unity is actively participating in shared common goal of creating purpose in the lives of others and your own. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. So, because if you have been reading the group read, All Things Considered, how has language from your childhood changed in the now? Because this book is written in 2013 and it's kids in high school at that age and how they talk and whatnot. So I'm curious of you, as you're reading and listening to the book and whatnot, how have things that you said as a child, do you still speak in that way? How have the things that you think of or used to say, do you say them in the same way? Do you look at words the same? I'm thinking about that even as much in what I've been reading, as in reading Black No More and Black Like Me and The Conjure Woman, just the way they use words versus the way we use them now, totally different. I've had to look up words. I was like, now what? That don't sound right. He used that in a sentence that I would not have you. Let me look that up. And then I go look at the obsolete definition. And I'm like, that obsolete definition is a doozy. Okay. All right. So, all things considered, how has language from your childhood changed in the now? All right, y'all. Hey, I did pretty good. I guess that we would be done at the 30, so that would be the next one starting. We're done at the 28. I guess you're gonna get an extra 2 minutes. How about it? All right, y'all. Let's put this banner up in 3, 2, 1. Y'all turn them pages or press play. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. How did my lovely co-host do?
Your lovely co-host had to do something, so I didn't advance 1 single second in the audiobook. But the point is that I'm reading the audiobook, and now that I have finished doing the thing that I had to do, I can continue reading in the next breath.
Okay. I am on page 26 now. I did find the book.
Okay, good.
Oh, we can't see it because there we go, green screen. There you go. I did find it. Yay! And I don't know if you guys remember when I bought it, but it is 2 books, so like it flips over and turns into another book and whatnot. So I can't wait to get to that part where it does that. So
does that happen in the audiobook too, or is that just a physical book function?
I think it's just a physical book function.
Okay.
But I think it does go into like a part 2 type of deal. Like I think that it does say something like that, like in there when the story advances into other parts of the story.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the personality of the characters in the story. Like it's kids, man, kids personalities. They have them, and they don't care about your feelings at all or each other. They just say whatever.
Assassins.
Right? All things considered, how has language for your childhood changed in the now? So there are a few things that I think about consistently. Like there are words now that I hear them and like, oh, I forget I have to like sit tall because of where this computer is. That like I hear them and like I flinch. Like there is a audible or a physical reaction to them that when I was like 15, 16, 14, and I didn't think nothing of them. Like I didn't think anything of them being said or anything like that. And it wasn't even like that they weren't curse words, they weren't slurs, they weren't anything like that. They're just words that they were more commonly used in the time, and as we have progressed as a society, as we have become more aware of how language affects people, right? Like I've always been a believer, like even as a child, I never understood the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Like as a kid, I was like, that doesn't make sense because words do hurt. But things you do say to people can hurt their feelings, right? You can say all day long, like, no, what people say shouldn't make you feel away. Whatever. No. I'll link it in the description box below since we're talking about it on this stream. But there was an experiment done with water, and it was like water molecules in a bottle or a flask or something like that. And with words written on the outside of this bottle that were negative, and then words written on the outside of this container that were positive, and just the ways in which the molecules of the water reacted from the negative to the positive is like, that's how different it like water. We don't think of water as having feelings, but that is just, I will link it in the description box below. But I think it's an important experiment for people to like go watch or read up on or watch a YouTube video about, because it goes into just how important words are, especially if you don't consider yourself a Christian or you're not a religious person or a spiritual person. Because if you are any of those things, you already believe that, right? Because any of those 3 things, you already know how powerful things that come out of your mouth are. All right. So all things considered, language from my childhood to now has changed quite drastically, and in some ways for the better, and in some ways for not so much the better. I would say that one thing that I don't like about how language has changed is I don't like how easy it is for language to spread now. Like, I don't like how something that is within our community can go without our community so fast and be turned into something that it was never or intended to be, and it's misused. That, I think, is a change that was unanticipated, that is not so much a good change, but it is a way that language has changed from my childhood to now. Like, I didn't really have, in my childhood, there wasn't a big thing where people who didn't grow up around our culture or wasn't around us really said things that we said. Like, that hardly ever happened. And now I'll hear people using words we say in the wrong context all the time. And I just want to know how you even heard the word to begin with. Like, why do you even know this word exists? So yeah, no. What about you, Britt?
Yeah, language definitely has changed in that. I mean, I was always aware of like how words can hurt you. I know that, yeah, that's my awareness of the power of language has remained pretty consistent. Um, and it's probably because I was bullied a little bit as a kid that I was just like, I'm very aware that this is hurtful. You're not going to tell me that it's not. So there's that, where I think if you experience the negative parts of language consistently, you understand the power of language. Whereas unfortunately, if you grew up being affirmed all of your life, you have this confidence and you think it's just coming from you. You don't understand that these words have built up this confidence in you. So you don't really understand the power of words, even though the power of words has empowered your confidence and your sense of self and whatever. That's just the way it goes. You don't miss something until it's gone. So language from my childhood changed into now. I think the biggest thing is that there is so much linguistic co-optation now that in some ways, I mean, that's not new. It's not like it never happened before, but the frequency that it's happening with and the way people who are stealing it refuse to acknowledge that it's stolen, as opposed to trying to make excuses for, well, no one owns language and it's just TikTok language and it's just Gen Z language. Listen to me very clearly. Gen Z doesn't really have a language. And I don't say that meaning any disrespect, but they don't. Gen Z, a lot of their language is taken from old Black language or newer Black language that's being said by like in rap songs or something. But Gen Z is creating precious few words. So I'm just like, and the fact that people call it TikTok language, Gen Z language, is infuriating. I don't know that that's ever not going to piss me smooth off, because it undermines the damage and the disrespect done to the community who actually created that language, and does that the whole while those same people are claiming to be woke, be allies, blah, 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 but you're participating in co-optation on a daily basis and trying to justify how yours isn't as bad because language can't be owned. That's not true. And so I think in the age of information, we've become dumber about linguistic co-optation and linguistic bias in a way that I just find completely sad, and just evidences to me that even with more information, people don't want to use knowledge as power. They just want to use it to empower themselves to do whatever they want to do. And that's not the same as using knowledge towards a common goal, towards unity, communal unity, global unity, whatever the case. People are using language to empower their own right to do what they want to do, as opposed to using language to empower the collective, which again cannot exist without mutual respect. And there's no mutual respect and appropriation. I don't care what people say about appreciation. You don't even want to cite where it came from. You just want to use it to sound cool. This ends my TED Talk.
No, I concur. I definitely concur. Hold on. Trying to make sure I can adjust this timer or the time for the timer. Um, yeah, no, the I love the series that the first black student body president of Yale did, and he was like the series where it was like uh words talk about how everything people think came from Gen Z actually came from black people. Like that whole series that he did. Because again,
Legit.
like it's words that we have been saying as a community for decades that y'all are acting like
Hmm.
are just brand new. And it's like, what?
Legit. Like, where would you even have been to make up that word? Explain to me how you made that word and in
Right.
what context.
I remember when people were like woke. I really hate what y'all did with that word. I really do. I do. I do. Ooh. Okay. All right. Last sprint
Let's do it.
question. What do you do to practice building a harmonious community around you? All right. Sprint ends at the 42 because I knew it. Look, it's 11:11. I knew we were going to get close to be ready at the 12. Got an extra minute. I'll be
Boom.
on it. I'll be on it,
I
y'all.
be on it, on it,
I'll
on that
let,
man. I be on it.
and did he not start the book with a quote from Outcast? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. In 3, 2, 1, y'all turn in pages or press play. All right. How did everybody do? Let me know how you did in the comments. How did my lovely co-host do?
I, I did all right. I have 12 more minutes in this section where I am, so did all right. I definitely see where the all things considered came from. So what I saw, I realized that within the first 30 seconds of the audiobook, actually. But the frequency with which this boy says this, I'm like, okay. I think at this point we have considered all things, so we don't. It kind of at this point goes without saying, but evidently not. So yeah, I shall read on.
The question.
My word, yeah. What do you do to practice building a harmonious community around you? I check in with my people about how they're doing, remembering how they're doing, checking in when I hear something like, oh, I heard X happened. How are you? How can I help? Blah, 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 blah. Have you eaten today? Like those kind of how are you? And then like, how are you questions. And then being honest about how I'm feeling, but also just like laughing with them. It's so easy to always be like, how are you? And if they're all like, if they're going through a hard time, they may not be doing well, but you know that already. So once I know how they are, moving past that into, okay, well, let's find some laughter. Let's find some levity in this season. And I think that's part of that. The harmony is knowing how they are and then doing what you can to lighten the load in whatever way you're able. And for me, a lot of the times that's emotional. And that's just like, I have friends who love cats, who have cats, and who are very passionate about them. And I spam them with cat reels. 100%. 100%. So it's the little things. It
No,
is the little
I
things.
don't have cats, but my two best friends that have cats, I send them cat reels. And they're only people I send cat reels. The only people. Unless like I think that I have friends that even though they don't have cats that
You would appreciate this.
yeah, you appreciate this. Yeah, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
used to forget that Deidre has a cat, so sometimes I'll forget to send it to Deidre because I forget that she got 8 ball. But yeah. So I am on page 44, and I forgot. Like I don't forget what happened in the story. I forgot like what happens up to page 44. And so I don't think you're here yet, and I want to talk about it so bad. So I wish you were here. But oh my gosh, this competition is so funny. It's so frustrating as well. So I'm very, very, very intrigued to get to that competition and talk about that. So I'm pretty sure we'll get to talk about it tomorrow. So I'm excited to get to discuss it with you tomorrow because it's something that it's a topic that I want to tackle in the historical fiction that I'm going to be writing. um it's a way to look at that topic. So I'm just excited to get to discuss that with you because you're someone that I would love to talk about that with. So I'm just excited. I'm just ready for you to get there. For me, what do I do to practice building a harmonious community around me? I'm definitely a person like Britt, where I'm doing check-ins on like, hey, are we communicating on the same level? Are we understanding each other well? I know recently I was having a conversation with my best friend in CP about my short story, and the way that I responded to something she said made her think that I was angry. And I was like, oh no, I didn't have any anger behind what I was saying. I was just factual in the moment. Like I can't do anything about this in the moment. So I'm just kind of like trying to process what you're telling me and see how I can maneuver going through this. And then as we began to discuss some more and continue through the conversation, we worked through that that confusion of emotions and tone through text message, right? But it also required me being like, hey, I'm sorry that the way that I came off in this was that wasn't my intention. This was what I was thinking in this moment. So I wasn't meaning to be short. I was just meaning to be direct in this, like, hey, I have this X amount of time to get this to this. So I can't really do that with this. So maybe I should just pivot to something different if this is what you're thinking. And I say that to say, I'm one of those people that sometimes the way that I come off can be very bad because I'm just a very direct person. I'm a very kind of like, it's black and white. I don't really think emotionally most of the time. It's just that it is or it isn't. And I'll have to look at someone or read into what they're saying and be like, oh, I'm missing somebody's feelings in this. Let me rewind. I could have thought about the way I said that a little bit better. Hey, so I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking when I said this. This probably sounded really bad. I did not mean for it to. I was in this space, this. I acknowledge that it sounded like this, and I didn't mean for it to, right? Because I'm not one of those people to say intention doesn't matter, because no, your intention is very important, right? You can hurt someone without trying to. That is important, right? It is important to acknowledge the hurt, but it is also important to acknowledge where your heart was in that moment. I think those are very two important things. So I'm going to apologize for the hurt that I caused, but I'm also going to acknowledge and make sure that for the person that I care about, you always know that it is not my intention to hurt you. You always know that it is not my intention. And that once I realize that I have done so, I'm going to do whatever it takes to remedy that, to know that we're back on a good page. And more than 9 times out of 10, if I'm doing my job right, you're not going to have to tell me. I'm going to catch it myself because I pay attention to you enough to be like, I did something wrong and I didn't see it when I did it, but I can tell from the way you reacted, I did something wrong and I'm sorry because I wasn't trying to. So for me, I practice it by being aware of the people that I'm around and doing my best to foster good communication with the people that I'm around. So I felt like that was a very long-winded answer, and I apologize. So there's that. Okay, so Sherry said, read 3 more chapters, and being a first-generation Jamaican, I had one language I used at home and the language of America. I had to navigate both in my childhood. Okay. That is interesting. I've always wondered, like, how that is being a first-generation immigrant child, like having to navigate that language for your parents. So that is interesting. Bree, y'all are dope. Love me some Outkast. Man, yo, I heard an Andre verse yesterday that I never heard. And I was like, okay, now I wasn't talking noise about people paying Beyonce money. I just said I wouldn't pay Beyonce money to see Beyonce, but I would pay Beyonce money to see Andre 3000. I'm not going to hold you. If Andre 3000 ever decided to do a concert ever again, because y'all know how much he avoids humans, because he is a man after my own heart. If he is ever like, I'm going to do it one night only, y'all, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I might not buy myself another pretty black lady picture for a whole year, but I'm going to go see Andre 3000. I'm going to go see him. It's one, like, if Denzel go do a play again, he go do it on another play tour, I'm doing it. I don't know when it's ever going to happen again. I know his time, he's getting up there. It's just some things, if we get one more chance, I'm going to take it. Becca, hey, Becca. I am just typing in the parts of the screenplay. I wrote a notebook. I'm remembering why I don't write notebooks. Man, that transferring handwritten to typed is the only reason why I was okay with getting the iPad, because you can handwrite in the iPad and it'll turn it into typing. That's the only reason I was like, okay, I can be fine with this. I send the best cat videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love it. And honestly, I don't know if I get a cat, but they made me want to get a kitten. It made me want to get a kitten. First, I make sure to surround myself with like-minded people, and I do my best to make time to spend with those people as much as I can. There's something to be said about actually making time for friendships. You have to make time to cultivate them. I completely agree with that. I'm coming with you, Shay, all the way. One more, for real. Just one more chance. Just one more chance. He did fences, and that was the last one I remember. And I'm just like, sir, just do one more. Just do one more. You know, and maybe bring Pauletta out. Maybe y'all do one more together. Come on. Let me see the misses. I'm just saying, one more. All right, y'all. We want to thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate this morning. Whew, it's like I've been awake so long. Thank y'all for being here with us this morning. We appreciate y'all. We are going to be coming at y'all for the next 7 days of Kwanzaa. Don't forget to drop those reels, drop that hashtag. Mine will be dropping later. Brits is already live on Instagram and on YouTube, so definitely go check those out. I'll be updating this description box later today. Any other announcements or anything, Brit? You're muted.
Gonna drop an honest tea video today. It's been 6 months, so if y'all have been waiting, I've heard your cries. It's coming today. So
hey, honesty. I'm excited. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all same time tomorrow. Hey, yeah, I'm glad to help. We'll be here tomorrow, 9:30 to 11:30 tomorrow. So see y'all later. All right, bye.